And today we might have a bit of an extended class because we have to finish. And let us not compromise and let us recap. Okay. So you people are taking extra time every day. Today I want to give you the best. That's the reason why I just took some of your time. But I will extend the time, and please be having the patience and listen to the last session of the training. Krishna, be vigilant. If anyone are spoiling the screen, you have to report me, okay?
Sure, ma'am.
Thank you. Right. So, friends, yesterday we have discussed about the score, band score. This is just to give you again an overview. When you're writing general, you should be, because the general is considered to be a bit easier one, what happens is it would be very, very importantly taken into consideration that it has to be given the best shot. That's the reason why the scoring in general is a bit tougher compared to academic. But what happens in academic is your whatever the test, the modules that are being there, not extra two modules, the isolated modules like writing and reading, they are a bit tough. That's the reason why the scoring will be easier. That's the reason why I just want to make you understand the importance of both. And at the same time, this is what is your scoring paper. So sorry, the listening. Today we are going into the listening. You can just see, I told you I'll show you very clearly what's going to happen, how you're going to fill the sheet. This is going to be the original listening sheet that you are going to write in your examination. And if you look here, you have to write the center number. You have to use only a pencil, friends. You should not be using a pen, right? So pencil must be used to complete the sheet. And please write your full name in capital letters. Just write the name in full in capital letters, okay? And you have your code. The code has to be addressed here. You have to write the number in the small boxes. And after that, you have to, if your number is 9, you have to, highlight the box of 9. If the second number is 4, highlight the box of 4. So likewise, however your ID code is there for your examination, the registration code, that should be replicated over here. Okay. And then the test date. Even the test date should also be addressed in the above manner only. You have to highlight the code. Okay. So this goes with it. Now, this is how it goes. The filled one, as I told you, right? And this is how the answers are to be written by you, right? So just see, pencil only must be used to complete the sheet. Write your name in capital letters. Shade the boxes to indicate the test date. Write the candidate's number in the boxes indicated and shade the corresponding boxes, right? And write the answers in the boxes. 1 second, friends. I'll just close the WhatsApp. Krishna, able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Right. So you have to write your answers in the boxes. And if you want to change an answer, erase or else just cross the answer. Okay. If your time is permitting you to write the answer by erasing it, yes, it's fine. If it's not, just a single cross. That is very important. Okay. And do not write anything in the box, the vertical box, which you have a tick mark and a wrong mark over there. It is for the official purpose only. Okay. So this is how you have to write your paper. Now coming into the listening, it is again divided as like reading is divided into three. This listening is divided into four tasks. The first one is a conversation, which is called as a dialogue. The second one is a monologue, which only one person speaks. The third one is again a dialogue, and fourth one is a monologue. Now let me explain you a bit clearly. The first one, where it is a conversation or a dialogue between two persons, will be a general conversation between a student and other student, maybe a senior student and a junior student, talking about how the courses will happen in the university, or how you have to find out the way for one of the academic building or the library in the university, or sitting in a railway station and having a chat between two friends is one of the conversations given here. So it would not be tough, but you have to catch hold of the pronunciation, the accent neutralized pronunciation. Next one is a monologue. Okay, it would be only one person talking, where it would be containing again about the real life situations. Only one person, where he might be showing the way, and when he was showing the way, only that particular aspect will be mentioned, or else one person giving information to the other person without the interruption from the second person. Okay, will also be there. So this will be general real time situations, and it can be not only academic things. Real time, it may involve bit of academic, but mostly in general, about insurance, about different policies, about different aspects. Everything can come under this cap, right? And the third one is a bit peculiar one. How it goes is, you may have 3 4 students who sit for a discussion on the academic aspect. The challenge here lies in the third one is, you have to understand who is speaking what. You have to identify 2 3 voices. And maybe if the question is being asked what is given by X and Y and Z, you should be in a position to answer, identify the voices, identifying the voices. So 21 to 30 are the questions based on the conversation among the students. I didn't say between the students, among means more than two, among the students, about the academic
ఏదో
purpose.
కామెంట్ వస్తుంది ఎందుకు వదిలేసి ఏం కనపడుతుంది నీకు ఇంత చీకట్లు
Excuse me, host, please take the
ఇది నేను
responsibility.
మార్చేస్తాను 2 to 3 days లో నాకు ఆల్రెడీ
Yeah, thank you. Right. Now, if we go to the last one, it is just a monologue where you can have the lectures directly delivered by the faculty who are there in the universities. It can be from any genre. It can be from literature, it can be from
చెప్పానంటే
management,
నేను
it can
ముందే
be from
రాస్తాను
economics.
నీ ఫ్రెండ్స్ నాకెళ్ళి తెలుస్తారు నీ ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఏం రోగం అసలు నాకు నన్ను ఎవరు ఆడుకోరు నన్నే కొంచెం వింతగా చూస్తారు నువ్వు కల్లుడు అంటే నీకు సీన్ ఉందా బెప్పమనుకో
Students, please don't do this. Whoever is, if you are not willing to give concentration to the class, you may be away from the class. Okay? Right.
Ma'am,
Amma,
here you said I didn't said no, ma'am. You used I didn't said.
Nana,
You just now you said that I didn't said. You are saying something and you said I didn't said.
I didn't say I said.
Okay, say okay.
I didn't say. Nana, someone on real me is speaking too much, right? Krishna, did you observe?
Yes.
Keep an eye and tell me who is talking like that.
Okay,
We will ask the host to remove them,
okay.
because you people should not be trouble. Yeah, some noise is going on. Fine. Just have a glance here. So you have the listening section on section 1 on orientation of a place, inquiring information, mastering the alphabet. You will have the spellings also, which are being told by the proper nouns, which are different names and English names. They will be giving, if they are peculiar proper nouns, they will also pronounce the spellings, which you have to really understand, and mastering the numbers and dates. So these might be okay given to you when they are having the questions. They wanted to present something and ask you in the listening section 1. And listening section 2, you will be going for recognizing the directions, understanding instructions, and labeling a map. As I said, when you ask for any way in a university and all, you go for this. So recognizing directions, right, left, 90 degrees, towards the northeast, southwest, all these. You have to be really very careful in finding out the directions also. And then when you go for the listening section 3, you have the distinguishing voices, different voices, where you have to identify, understanding the difference among the voices. And normally there'll be peer discussions or the tutorial classes among the students, and that would be heard, and there might be project discussions or tutors or students involved. Sometimes it can be number of students like you people as well as a tutor or else an instructor like me talking to each other, and you have to find out what is happening, right? And then listening. Four is recognizing the discourse markers, listening to a lecture. Discourse in the sense it's a speech, okay? And variety of topical issues. As I said, it can be from any genre. You have to be identifying the key aspects, and mostly multiple choice questions will be addressed in the section 4. Okay, so this is about each section which has been mentioned about the listening. And the types of questions which are being addressed in listening, just to recap, we have sentence completions, the green, and then the yellow, the short answer questions, then the completion questions. It can be a map completion, diagram completion, or any completion. Okay, it can be matching question, it can be a matching question, it can be multiple choice, and labeling. So some diagrams where processes might be given to you where you have to label. So these are the various things which are being addressed. 99% they are being addressed. Okay, types of questions. And if you go into deeper version, you have note completion, table completion also, pick from a list, right? So multiple choice, note completion, table completion, everything. Pick from a list. Classification, how to classify. So like yesterday, we if you remember in reading, you have A, B, C, and you'll get 1 to 10 questions. You have to identify 1 to 10 belong to A or B or C. So likewise, the classification will be given here and listening also. And summary completion, labeling a diagram, flowchart completion, all these things. But my friends, try to understand listening takes your concentration. Too much of concentration and proper flow, of your imaginative power, and at the same time grasping the information properly and presenting the answer exactly is very important. And don't get panic. You will have a gap in between. If you have a continuous set of
ఇంకా
30.
ఇంకా ఇంకా అని అడిగితే ఏం లేదని చెప్తాను నేను మళ్ళీ మళ్ళీ మళ్ళీ.
Okay.
కౌంట్ కావాలా, పేర్లు కావాలా? రీసెంట్ గా అయితే ఏం లేవు, కానీ స్కూల్ నుంచి పాపం ఇంకా వాళ్ళే పడుతున్నారు చూసి వదిలేస్తున్నాను.
Krishna, who is that Krishna?
The Sushmita.
Host
Sushmita.
Hari Kishan. I request the host to remove Sushmita so that she can't enter into the class. Let us not disturb the rest of the students. Mr. Hari Kishan, please do that for me. I
Sushmita
request you.
Pasman.
Remove Sushmita. Padmavati ma'am, please instruct them, no? Okay, once again, if they come, I will stop and I will only do that. I can't do that. I don't have a right now, or else I would have done that immediately. Thank you, Krishna. Right. Now, if you look at the screen here, these are the various resources that are being there for listening. So if you can, please take a snap. Please take a snap of this. IELTS Made Easier, BB 6-Minute English, yellow.org, listen a minute. Okay, eslab.com, very important. This is the sixth, number 6 is a very important website where you get all the levels of text. Like you have easy, medium, as well as difficult level questions, difficult level passages also with different kinds of accents. Australian accent, Spanish accent, not Spanish, I'm sorry, Scottish accent, and then you have a kind of tinge of a bit of Latin American accent. All those kind of things will be there. VOA, Voice of America, okay, and then British Council Video Zone, Scientific American, lyrics training, very important. If you could understand lyrics, my dear friends, you can write, you can listen to and present anything with full of confidence. Yo English, Forwo, Oro.tv, Tube Quizard, Ignite, News and Levels, British Council Word on the Street, TED Talks, BBC Radio. So these are the various instances where you can look for. Just you can take a snap. All of you take a snap for resources of IELTS listening. Okay, right. Now let us after when you are looking into listening, you will have 40 minutes in total. As I told you, you will have only 30 minutes to answer the listening part, and you have 10 minutes. Last 10 minutes you should be using to transfer your answers from the question paper. When you are answering, don't answer on the answer paper. You are not supposed to answer directly on the answer paper. When you are listening, you have to write on the question paper itself, because you write faster. The handwriting might not be neat, the grammar might be amiss, or else the spelling might be amiss in the speed. So you should be in a position to present it properly and exactly and perfectly, so that you would not miss the marks, because this listening is a scoring thing. So that 10 minutes transferring should be done very carefully. If you have answered second question to the third one, whole set of questions go wrong. So concentration and presenting answers is very important. And if you write a singular for a plural and plural for a singular, it is also difficult. Okay, and use answer sheet to answer IELTS section. My dear friends, this is a very important point. So I recommend you, please take a printout. You get that answer sheet in the Google. You just take a printout and keep it. While practicing, use the answer sheet only, so that you get used to how to write in that space, the box which has been provided. Okay, and whatever you listen to, keep in mind it is only going to be once. So as golden words are not repeated more than once, you will have only it for a once. Okay, and you are going to use only a pencil, not only to write your name, even to write your answers also use only a pencil. That's the reason why. And it's instructed strictly, and that's the reason why you can erase and write the answers if they are wrong also. Okay, so be careful, don't carry a pen, you carry a pencil. Even your essay should be written with a pencil. Okay, and scores are given only to the correct answers. Even a single s is added or deleted, it is wrong. So don't please spoil your paper, right? And friends, capital letters. Yesterday one of our friend has asked a doubt regarding capital letters. If you want to write in capital, write all the letters in capital only. That's the first point. But if you are to write capitals, we people are not used to write in capitals. Only in our LKG, UKG, we wrote all in capitals or something else. After that, only first letter is a capital, and then the rest of them are small. Therefore, what happens is, when you're writing a capital letter word, okay, full of capital letters, word full of capital letters, your handwriting becomes slow. Practice that. If you want to write capital letters, practice the speed of writing capital letters. But if you're writing a lowercase, means small letters, lowercase letters, okay, use the caps for names and places in the beginning. That is very important. Again, if you write Rajamandri and R is a small letter, they put a wrong there. They won't give the correct mark, because it's a main point of punctuation. Punctuation is also taken into consideration. Okay, next, don't exceed the word limits in the answer. As in reading also, don't not more than 3 words. Likewise, they give you not more than 1 word. They give you, you have to go only with the word limit, sentence completion especially. And also, when you are filling the sentence completion or short answer questions, you have to go with the grammar correctly also. Okay, and if it is a normal question, you just need to write only a single word. Spelling, capital letter usage, and grammar should be correct. So listening, these are very, very important points. And on your test day, okay, so you have to be really very, very keen about, various aspects. So you have to be keen about the word types, and you have to be into the situation, not outside the situation. When you are as a student listening to it, and the situation is about the scene, just plug into the situation and never lose the attention. That's the reason why, when you're going for that 2.1, 2.5 hours exam, you just eat properly and go. Eat properly, or else if you get a mild headache also, what happens is the concentration level will drop. Eat properly, drink good quantity of water, okay, and go there. Next, word indicators are very important. Yes, yesterday when we are discussing about reading, usage of negative words. If they are there, you may write, if you have written the answer in a positive way, did not bother about the word, you're going to lose. That's the reason why you have to go with the word indicators properly, right? And don't write the answers too quickly. Don't be very, very quick. Okay, sometimes whatever you're intending to will come after a long time, means after 4 or 5 sentences. Just wait for it. Sometimes immediately the question may go. So you have to be really very focused when you're going with this. So practice, practice, practice. Especially ESL lab is very useful to you, where you get hundreds of tests in it. So please go with that. Real-time tests of IELTS. Check for silly mistakes and transfer answers accurately, as I said. 2, 3, 4. If you write the answers for 4, 5, 6, miss nonsense. It doesn't create any sense in your paper. Having the knowledge, oh, I have written all the answers, I have done my listening well, but you may end up in getting 2.5. So be very careful. Okay? And easily you could score more than 8. And there were students in the class in the training session. I would rather say in the listening is one of the best modules, which we all the modules students have really done well. And I have felt very happy because few students have got 9 band scores when we are doing this listening practice. So many girls as well as boys also above 7.5. 99% are above 7.5. 99% of the session were at 7.5. So you should be only 1 or 2% because they were not used to. They were also at 6.5. They were also at 6.5, no one or less. So this is a just gist of training, but in the session we had an extensive training, but try to go with this and just we will recap what are the types of questions bit faster. One question goes, this is just a recap, revision from the old slide. So this is for the multiple choice. First question, multiple choice. Look at the question. The first thing is, you are not given time to look at the question. I'll just put the video on. While listening only, you have to, sorry, audio on. While listening only, you have to answer.
Not audible, ma'am.
Oh,
Okay,
Ron,
right.
audible?
Now, obviously, insurance
Yes,
is an
ma'am.
important thing
Thank
to
you.
consider, and our companies are able to offer very good rates in a number of different all-inclusive packages.
Sorry, could you explain a bit more?
Yes, sorry. There's really 3 rates according to quality of insurance cover. There's the highest comprehensive cover, which is premium rate. Then there's standard rate, and then there's economy rate. That one will only cover the cost of the contents second hand.
Oh, I've been stung before with economy insurance, so I'll go for the highest.
Mm-hmm. And can I just check, would you want home delivery or to a local depot, or would you want to pick it up at the nearest port?
The port would be fine. I've got transport that end.
Fine. And will you be paying by credit card?
Can I pay by check?
What is the answer for question 1?
Premium, ma'am.
Premium.
Good. And for the 2?
Yeah, ma'am.
Port.
Port, ma'am.
Port. Very
Port.
good. Very good. Now let us go for matching. Fast recap. And I request you people not to talk. Anyone.
You will hear a communication studies student talking to his tutor about optional courses for the next semester.
Come in. Oh, hello, Jack. Have a seat. Right. You said you wanted to see me to talk about your options next semester?
That's right. We have to decide by the end of next week. Really, I'd like to do all 5 options, but we have to choose 2, don't we?
Yes, but the choice depends on your major to some extent. You're majoring in communication studies, aren't you?
That's right.
So, for example, the media studies option will cover quite a lot of the same area you did in the core module on mass communications this semester, the development of the media through the last 2 centuries in relation to political and social issues.
Well, that was interesting, but I've decided I'd rather do something completely new. There's a women's studies option, isn't there?
Yes, Women and Power. Again, it has a historical focus. It aims to contextualize women's studies by looking at the legal and social situation in the 19th and early 20th centuries.
So it would be useful if I intended to specialise in women's studies, but I'm not sure I do actually.
Well, it might still be useful to give you an idea of the issues involved. It's taught by Dr. Steed.
Oh, really? I'll sign up for that then. What about the option on culture and society?
That addresses the historical debate on the place of culture since the Industrial Revolution in Britain.
So a historical focus again?
Do I get the message you're not so keen on history?
Well, it's just that we seem to have done quite a lot this semester. Anyway, I'll think about that one.
If you're interested in a course focusing on current issues, there's the option on identity and popular culture. That approaches the subject through things like contemporary film, adverts, soap operas, and so on.
That sounds interesting. Can you tell me who runs it?
Well, it's normally Dr. Stevens, but he's on sabbatical next semester, so I'm not sure who will be running it. It should be decided by next week, though.
Right. Well, I might wait until then to decide. And the last option is Introduction to Cultural Theory, isn't it? I'm quite interested in that too. I was talking to one of the second-year students, and she said it was really useful. It made a lot of things fall into place.
Yes, but in fact, in your major, you'll have covered a lot of that already in Communications 102, so that might be less useful than some of the others.
Oh, I'll forget about that one then.
Now, while you're here, we could also discuss how you're getting on with your core module assignment.
So friends, answers. Number 1 is? Friends, what
C,
are the
ma'am.
answers? First one
C.
is C.
He want to do it.
Yes, he wanted to do it. And 22nd?
A.
He will definitely do it, right? And
Yes.
the rest, next two, culture
May or may
and
not,
society? Yes, they are B. Both are B. And the last one is?
He won't do it, ma'am. C.
Yes, it's C. Okay. I want everyone to respond and listen to this, listening very carefully. Everyone should be serious. Okay. Right. I can just go on telling a lecture, but you also practice it. So next one.
You will hear a man talking to an official at a tourist information office.
Can I help you?
Yes, I was wanting somewhere to stay for a few days, a 4 or 5-star hotel. Can you tell me something about the possibilities?
Okay, right. Well, there are 5 hotels that might interest you. Were you wanting a city centre location, or would you be interested in something a bit further out?
Well, I do have a car, so I could go for either.
Well, there are 2 central hotels in the range you're looking for. There's Carlton House and the Imperial. They're both near the main square, but if you've got your own transport, you might be interested in the Royal Oak. That's out in the country, about 10 kilometres away. Very peaceful. Then there's the Bridge Hotel and the Majestic. They're both in town, but not in the centre. They're out on the airport road.
That might be a bit far out, actually. OK, now the other two you mentioned in the city centre. Can you tell me a bit about them?
Well, they're both excellent hotels. If you want something with a bit of character, Carlton House is quite unusual. It's a very old building that was originally a large private house. It was bought by the Vannies chain, and they completely refurbished it. They took their first guests just a few months ago, but it's already got an excellent reputation. That's a 5-star hotel. Or there's the Imperial, which is a much more modern building. That also has its own gym, and it also has internet connection and meeting rooms. It's used for conferences and corporate events as well as private guests. That's 5-star as well.
Does it have a swimming pool as well as a gym?
No, the Royal Oak has an outdoor pool, which is lovely in the summer, but the only hotel with an indoor pool is the Bridge Hotel. It doesn't have a gym, though. The Majestic is planning to build a swimming pool and a fitness centre, but it's not finished yet.
I see. Well, I think I'll probably go for one of the city centre hotels.
Yes, come up with the answers. The first one, in the rural area, what is he intended to take?
The Royal Oak.
Royal Oak,
Very
The
good. And what is opened recently in the city center?
Carlton
B.
House.
Carlton House.
It is B, Bombay. It is Carlton House. Okay, because it was a very old building, refurbished very recently, and it got its own reputation. Then offers facilities for business functions.
Imperial.
The Imperial.
Is the Imperial. Very good. And what is the one which has the indoor swimming pool?
The Bridge
Bridge Hotel.
The Bridge Hotel. Correct. Very good. Move on to the next. Plan, map, diagram, labeling. Okay. Start. Are you able to see the whole screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Start.
You'll hear the librarian of a new town library talking to a group of people who are visiting the library.
OK, everyone. So, here we are at the entrance to the town library. My name is Anne, and I'm the chief librarian here, and you'll usually find me at the desk just by the main entrance here. So, I'd like to tell you a bit about the way the library is organised and what you'll find where. And you should all have a plan in front of you. Well, as you see, my desk is just on your right as you go in. And opposite this, the first room on your left has an excellent collection of reference books and is also a place where people can read or study peacefully. Just beyond the librarian's desk on the right is a room where we have up-to-date periodicals such as newspapers and magazines. And this room also has a photocopier, in case you want to copy any of the articles. If you carry straight on, you'll come into a large room, and this is the main library area. There is fiction in the shelves on the left, and non-fiction materials on your right, and on the shelves on the far wall, there is an excellent collection of books relating to local history. We're hoping to add a section on local tourist attractions too, later in the year. Through the far door in the library, just past the fiction shelves, is a seminar room, and that can be booked for meetings or talks. And next door to that is the children's library, which has a good collection of stories and picture books for the under 11s. Then there's a large room to the right of the library area. That's the multimedia collection, where you can borrow DVDs and so on. And we also have CD-ROMs you can borrow to use on your computer at home. It was originally the art collection, but that's been moved to another building. And that's about it. Oh, there's also the library office on the left of the librarian's desk. Okay. Now, does anyone have any questions? Yes, thank you, sir.
Yeah, friends, what is 11?
Reference
room.
books,
Yes, opposite to that, number 12.
periodicals,
Periodicals.
It's periodicals, which also contains a Xerox machine. And then you go into the library area, number 13.
Local history
history,
collection.
Very good. Local history. After the seminar room, number 14.
Children.
Children's
Children
books.
Children's books.
Yes, children's books. Very good. I hear a new 2-3 new voices. I really feel happy. Okay. And 15.
multimedia,
Multimedia.
Multimedia. Excellent. Okay. So let us go to the next one. Please stop that noise, friends. It's very important when you're doing the listening part. Be professional when you're there in a class. Right, we are going for form completion. Be very keen. So I'm going to start the audio.
You will hear a telephone conversation between a customer and an agent at a company which ships large boxes overseas.
Good morning. Packham's shipping agents. Can I help you?
Oh, yes. I'm ringing to make inquiries about sending a large box, a container, back home to Kenya from the UK.
Yes, of course. Would you like me to try and find some quotations for you?
Yes, that'd be great. Thank you.
Well, first of all, I need a few details from you.
Fine.
Can I take your name?
It's Jacob Mkere.
Can you spell your surname, please?
Yes, it's Mkere.
Is that M for mother?
Yes.
Thank you. And you say that you will be sending the box to Kenya?
That's right.
And where would you like the box picked up from?
From college, if possible.
Yes, of course. I'll take down the address now.
It's Westall College.
Is that Westall?
Yes, college.
Westall College. And where's that?
It's Downlands Road in Bristol.
Oh, yes, I know it. And the postcode?
It's BS8 9PU.
Right. And I need to know the size.
Yes, I've measured it carefully and it's 1.5 metres long,
Right.
0.75 metres wide,
Okay.
and it's 0.5 metres high or deep.
Great. So I'll calculate the volume in a moment and get some quotes for that. But first, can you tell me, very generally, what will be in the box?
Yes, there's mostly clothes
Okay.
and there's some books.
Okay, good. Anything else?
Yes, there's also some toys.
Okay, and what is the total value, do you think, of the contents?
Well, the main costs are the clothes and the books. They'll be about £1,500. But then the toys are about another 200. So I'd put down £1,700.
Yes, friends. Number 1, Jacob.
Mkere,
Yeah, Mkere. And then the second one,
Westall College.
Westall. So when you're writing these two words, the first letter should be capital. When you're writing in small letters. And the next one is B.
BS89PU,
Correct. BS89PU. And the next one,
0.75 meters,
0.7 with
75. What is it?
M,
with
meters,
M. You have to write M. Or MTS is also okay. And the height?
0.5 m,
0.5 m.
5. Yeah, 0.5 M. And the sixth one, clothes.
Books and toys.
Very good. Books and toys. And the last one, how much?
1,700 pounds.
1,700.
Not
1,700.
Yes,
700.
1,700 pounds. Correct. Okay, fantastic. So those who have done one or two mistakes, please be careful. Now let us go for the note completion. Please mute yourself. All of you. Start. I'm beginning.
Section 2. You will hear a radio broadcast called Focus on the Arts. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 16 on page 4.
Observe the questions first. They give you time.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 16.
Hello, and welcome to Focus on the Arts. I'm your host, Dave Green, and this is your very own local radio programme. Every Friday evening, we put the spotlight on different arts and culture facilities and look at the shows and events that are on offer in the coming week. And today, the focus is on the National Arts Centre. Now, if you don't already know it yourself, I'm sure you've all heard of it. It's famous throughout the world as one of the major venues for classical music. But did you know that it's actually much more than just a place to hear concerts? The centre itself is a huge complex that caters for a great range of arts. Under a single roof, it houses concert rooms, theatres, cinemas, art galleries, and a wonderful public library, as well as service facilities including 3 restaurants and a bookshop. So, at any one time, the choice of entertainment there is simply enormous. So, how did they manage to build such a big arts complex right in the heart of the city? Well, the area was completely destroyed by bombs during the war in 1940. So the opportunity was taken to create a cultural centre that would be what they called the city's gift to the nation. Of course, it took a while for such a big project to get started, but it was planned in the 60s, built in the 70s, and eventually opened to the public in 1983. Ever since then, it has proved to be a great success. It's not privately owned, like many arts centres, but is still in public hands. It's run by the City Council. Both our National Symphony Orchestra and National Theatre Company were involved in the planning of the project, and they're now based there, giving regular performances every week. And as the centre is open 363 days of the year, there are plenty of performances to choose from.
Yeah, friends. The 11th one.
Before you hear the rest of the broadcast, you have
Classical
some
music.
time to look at
Yeah, it's
questions
classical.
17 to 20 on page 5.
And number 12, restaurants and
Bookshop.
bookshop. Correct. And 13?
Press.
In 60s,
And
the center was completed by 70s. Okay? Built in 70s. The center was built in 70s is the answer for 13.
Now listen and answer questions 17 to 20.
Okay. Then in 14?
So, to give you some idea of what's on, and to help you choose from the many possibilities, we've made a selection of the star attractions.
What's the answer for 14? Yeah, when it was open to the public.
1983.
And the next one, who was
City
looking
Council.
after it?
City Council.
It's not in private hands. And how many days it is open per year?
363.
Yes, 363 days.
Ma'am, what is 13th answer, ma'am?
13th answer is bookshops, dear. So, no. 13th answer is
City was planned, no?
Planned and built in 70s.
But the question is, in 1960s hyphen center was what? So it answer should be planned, no, ma'am?
Planned only, no.
Yeah, exactly. It is planned, not 70s. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Sanjana. Good. Okay. Thank you. Now let us go to the next slide. Sentence completion. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself.
The other thing I wanted to ask you was, did you find it hard studying with the Open University?
You mean because you're studying on your own most of the time? Well, it took me a while to get used to it. I found I needed to maintain a high level of motivation because it's so different from school. There's no one saying, "Why haven't you written your assignment yet?" and that sort of thing.
Oh, dear.
You'll learn it, Paul. Another thing was that I got very good at time management because I had to fit time for studying round a full-time job.
Well, I'm hoping to change to working part-time, so that'll help.
What makes it easier is that the degree is made up of modules, so you can take time off between them if you need to. It isn't like a traditional 3 or 4 year course where you've got to do the whole thing of it in one go.
Oh, that's good, because I'd like to spend 6 months traveling next year.
It's all right for some. Then, even though you're mostly studying at home, remember you've got tutors to help you, and from time to time there are summer schools. They usually last a week. They're great because you meet all the other people struggling with the same things as you.
Oh.
I've made some really good friends that way.
Sounds good. So how do I apply?
Yeah, 27. A great deal of what is required?
Motivation.
Yes.
Motivation.
Who is this who gave the answer? New voice. Hello, what's your name?
Alekhya, ma'am.
Very good. Okay, then 28th.
Time
Time
management.
management.
Yeah, it's time management. 29.
Modules.
Very good, very good. And last one,
Summer schools.
summer schools. You can write school or schools, but it is actually pronounced as schools. But both are accepted in this question. It's a special version, right? So all are the 4 answers, and next we go for short answer questions. Mute yourself.
You will hear an extract from a talk given to a group who are going to stay in the UK.
Good evening and welcome to the British Council. My name is John Parker and I've been asked to talk to you briefly about certain aspects of life in the UK before you actually go there. So I'm going to talk first about the best ways of making social contacts there. Now, you might be wondering why it should be necessary. After all, we meet people all the time. But when you're living in a foreign country, it can be more difficult, not just because of the language, but because customs may be different. If you're going to work in the UK, you will probably be living in private accommodation, so it won't be quite so easy to meet people. But there are still things that you can do to help yourself. First of all, you can get involved in activities in your local community. Join a group of some kind. For example, you'll probably find that there are theatre groups who might be looking for actors, set designers and so on. Or if you play an instrument, you could join music groups in your area. Or if you like the idea of finding out about local history, there'll be a group for that too. These are just examples. And the best place to get information about things like this are either the town hall or the public library. Libraries in the UK perform quite a broad range of functions nowadays. They're not just confined to lending books, although that's their main role, of course.
Yeah, the 11th one.
Language.
Yeah.
Language, ma'am.
Question 12 is what is
Customs.
important?
Custom.
And 13,
Music.
it's music, and 14 is music group, and other group is
History.
history. Local history,
Historic
or
group.
even not historic, sir. It is not given as historic. It is only history.
Okay.
Right. And then you go for the next one. What are the 2 places? Public places.
Town hall, public hall, and public library.
Correct. Okay. Very good. Now let us go to the last version. Oh, it's completed. So this is how your questions have been actually given. So hope you have any doubts in listening. You can ask me right now. I'll jump into writing faster.
Yeah, I have one query.
Yes, sir.
Actually, sometimes they said 31st March, right? You know, so at the time, how should I write? 31 March is enough, for 31st, 31 plus ST in
You can write in 3 ways actually: 31st March, March 31st, okay, or March 31 can also be written. 3 ways it can be present. No issues. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And even when you have looked at the sentence completion, meters is given, M is given. If you write MTS also, they will accept.
Okay.
Okay, they are like factual things which are to be accepted. They're not
Okay.
spelling mistakes, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And they're not even grammar mistakes. They are accepted.
And one more thing is that
Yes.
sometimes they said 1990, okay?
Hmm.
They repeat 199 wo.
Hmm.
So what we write, it's
Zero.
like a zero.
Zero. Normally
Zero.
they pronounce it as O, but it's
Yeah.
zero.
Okay.
Okay. Don't write it as O.
Okay.
Fine. Any other doubt, dear?
Ma'am, will there be Scottish accent, ma'am, in exam?
Scottish accent maybe when it is in the first and second conversations, not in the academic, and it would be a bit faster, like a village language, which when we speak our Telugu in a village language is
Yes,
more
ma'am,
of a slang, kind of that. Okay, too much of freedom, too much of informality will be there in Scottish accent. Just listen to few conversations and go. That's it. Don't worry about the conversations. Anyhow, you're used to Ron. You can do
Okay, ma'am.
better. Okay, but I want you to score 9 here.
Okay, ma'am.
Right.
I'll try my best.
Yes. Sanjana, got 100% hold on this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Right. Now, when we go for the writing, writing is for 60 minutes, and you will be having 2 tasks, task 1 as well as task 2. Now, in writing, you people will be tested on 4 aspects. The score will be given. The band score is given on 4 aspects, which is very, very important to be considered. Don't write cock and bull stories when you're writing. And I already gave you a very, I taught you on the board also how to do your brainstorming and everything, and how to write your essay. Everything is important, which should not cross beyond the thought process which is to be involved when you have to write. Okay, so let us look at the task, see what are the 4 aspects where the examiner will test you, or the evaluator, the Cambridge evaluator will test you. The first one is the task achievement. What is intended by the examiner is being addressed in the passage or not will be very much tested here, right? And when it is really showcasing the knowledge or the expected information from you is really up to the mark and it is present, it is covering each and every key aspect, only then the task achievement is completed, right? See here, fully satisfied all the parts of the task means 2 3 sentences will be there. All the sentences should be addressed in different paragraphs. Presents a fully developed position and an answer to the question with relevant, fully extended and well supported ideas. Okay, so not that you write 1 or 2 sentences and leave them randomly. You should be in a position to justify each and every statement. If you have whatever you have written, if it is task 1, whatever you have written in paragraph 1 should be extended in 2 and 2, and also about the second diagram in 3 and 1 conclusion, so that resource, okay, resourcical information, or that is very, very important when you have to present your thought in the essay. Then coherence and cohesion. So if you uses cohesion in such a way that it attracts, okay, no attention, skillfully manages paragraphing. So there should be a link between the paragraphs. Simple. The second point is the link between the paragraphs. The isolation of information, or there should not be any difference from the thought of the first to second, and again something from the third. There should not be any isolation. There should be a lot of continuity of thought. If it goes away, there is no use of writing an essay. So better you maintain that logical sequence when you're going. That is nothing but coherence and cohesion and lexical resource. Language is very, very important. Based on the language sense that you use, you go on increasing your score. When you are using idioms, phrases, and collocations, and proper preposition, and proper vocabulary, suited vocabulary to that context, only then you will be having a better score more than 7. So lexical resource is very, very important that you actually present yourself, and grammar range and accuracy. Everywhere you see in reading, listening, writing, grammar and accuracy are very important. So 25, see, if the whole passage is for 100%, each, aspect on the band, how the band is given 25% value. And they will be calculated in such a way that they are made into 100, and that will be given as a score. Let's say you get task achievement 20%, and then cohesion you got 15%, lexical resource 20%, grammar you have got 25%. Then based on that, they'll give you a score. Make it full and they'll give you a score based on that. So please focus on the four aspects. They're the four pillars. Okay. As I said, you will be given 60 minutes time. Okay. And you have to be really very careful and run along with the time, because first task should be written only in 10-20 minutes, and the second task should be written in 40 minutes. But I rather suggest you to complete that task one in 15 minutes and keep 45 minutes to the second one, because second one is the most important one where you score the highest. If you want to have an increase in the score, the second one is given the utmost preference. Okay. Now, if you look at task one, you are given some kinds of diagrams, maybe maps, maybe diagrams which contains graphs, information, pie charts, flow charts, anything on the earth which will be given in the form of non-verbal communication, which is not in the form of words. So you have to identify, bring the link, bring the coherence, and present it in the form of your passage. And when you're writing task one, don't give too much of information. Just give an outlined information, and it should have its logical implication into it. Or else it's not. If you write everything point by point by point, putting every number into it, it ends up giving a confusion to the examiner instead of giving a clarity to the examiner. For example, friends, if you ask me to give the direction, if I give you giving too many breakups in the way, on the way, go to the left, stop there, there'll be a medical shop. Then you turn right, there will be a turn right, go 10 steps, there will be another shop. If you tell like this, it would be nonsense. It gives confusion. Better from this place where you stand, you take a left direction and go towards the northeast and turn west. There will be your location. It's easy instead of writing too much of information. So redundancy, excessive information is called as redundancy. And redundancy is not accepted. I request. Somebody is talking, please.
రేట్ రాకపోతే వర్కౌట్ కాదు. అది దీంట్లో ఉండే గొప్పతనం. ఇప్పుడు మనం ఎక్కువ తినిపించి తక్కువ రేట్ వస్తే వర్కౌట్ కాదు.
Mr. Harikishan, please mute Mr. Samartham.
కరెక్ట్ రేట్ రావాలి, అప్పుడు కమర్షియల్ గా వైబుల్ అవుతుంది.
Yeah, thank you. Right. Now let us move on to task 2. Task 2 is for 40 minutes, and everything what you write should not be informal at all, because you are going to write either for a purpose of a job, which is a general module, or else for the purpose of getting a university seat, which is said to be the academic module. Anything should be in a formal style. Never write anything in informal style. Okay. And the number of words that you have to write in task 1 is 150. But I recommended you all not to complete your essay within 150 words. Minimum 175 words have to be written, so that you will be on a safer zone, having all the 4 pillars taken into consideration. And here 250 is the minimum word limit given by the examiner, but I would recommend you to go for 275 minimum, 275 to 290, going for the better grades, right? Now, you have to write the answers in the answer booklet which is given to you. They'll be giving the single rule paper, which is a bit colored, and you have to write either in pen or pencil, but I recommend you to go only with a pencil. Make the practice using the pencil, because we are actually nowadays, the plight of all of us is we are not even writing on a paper. We are using when we are typing also on the system, it's okay, but on the phone We are using a shortcut language, SMS language. We forgot all the spellings. Okay, our speed of handwriting, the pace of handwriting is also not up to the mark. Especially we write with a pen, which we can go, even with a pen, you need not give a stress of your hand. But with a pencil, you have to give the stress and it should go on a flow. That practice has to happen. Writing answers in capital letters, writing in pencil every day, please practice. That is very, very important. Okay. And if you want to make any alterations, you actually you can make them, and but your work should be easy to read. It should not be too much of complication to the examiner, right? And at the end of the test, you have to give back your answer paper as well as a answer booklet as well as a question paper to the examiner. So that is to be taken into consideration. Now you will have the task like this, kind of diagrams like this, right? For example, the graph gives the information about the computer ownership as a percentage of population between 2002 and 10, and by the level of education for the years 2002 and 10, right? And so see here, the graphs give the information about the computer ownership as a percentage of population between 2002 and 10. And if you look into the second one, it gives the level of education for the years 2002 and 10. So you have to just summarize information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. This is a common question. Okay. So if normally two graphs will be given to you, two diagrams will be given to you, or if it is a process, only single diagram will be given to you. So you should be in a position to bring a proper logical link between both the diagrams, and you should be in a position to write minimum 3 paragraphs and maximum 4 paragraphs of essay, right? So this is what you're expected to do in this writing task 1. You have to write an introduction. When you're doing an introduction, you have to paraphrase. Paraphrase is a very important strategy in your IELTS. Let it be reading, you paraphrase and understand. Listening, you need not paraphrase, but you try to understand. But when you're writing the answer and listening, you have to paraphrase sometimes and write the answer. And here, definitely in the first paragraph, whether it is task 1 or task 2, making the other person understand that we understood the concept, you have to paraphrase the question in your own words. Paraphrasing is nothing but putting the idea in your own words, putting the idea of the question in your own words. That is called as paraphrasing. Then write the overview, what is actually discussed in the passage, like education as well as usage of computers, both are discussed. And then paragraph 1, okay, that means body paragraph 1. First one introduction, second one overview, or you can both combine overview and introduction in a small paragraph. A bit, see, when you're writing overview and introduction in two different levels, two different paragraphs, intro will be very small, means a 2-liner, and overview will be for a 3-liner. Instead, you can write that in a 5-liner also, one single paragraph. Then body paragraph 1 should be explaining about the first diagram, and the second one should be explaining about the second diagram. Suppose you have only one diagram, it should be taking one main aspect of that diagram and should be comparing with the other. And still you have 2-3 diagrams with you, you can increase the number of paragraphs. And whenever you are writing about the diagram, the comparisons and the linkages which are being there should be prospectively presented. And you should be using all the linkers. Okay. I have also given you all the linkers which have to be used. And if required, I'll be sending those linkers also tonight so that ma'am will send you all those so that you can read grammar linkers. Okay. So that is about the task 1. And mostly these are the various arenas where you can be expecting, the tasks. So the questions from task 2. Education, environment, business and finance, crime and punishment, food, family, health, children, the media, technology, robotics, internet, transport, society, space exploration, work, art, sports, government, globalization, travel, language, animals, and personality, and many more. But still, these are the main fancy topics and main topics which are actually included in this IELTS examination. And you actually can present your answer in a kind of way like this. And I'll tell you how in oral how to express this passage. Okay, passage means the essay. Passage is nothing but the essay which is written in a number of paragraphs. Even essay writing is also a passage which you write, not the reading, the examiner. Now, what kind of things are tested here? They may give you a problem and solution question, or advantages, disadvantages, argumentative, agree or disagree, or for or against is also something like that, like agreement, disagreement, and cause and effect. So they may give you the question based on any genre, but the third and fourth are the most important ones where you will be given the questions. Advantages, disadvantages will be given the second aspect, and the cause and effect and problem solution are the last parts, means last preferable or preferred questions which have to be given in IELTS reading task 2. Okay, now how to do this? You have a process, friends. The first thing is a pre-stage, and the pre-stage is divided into 3 parts. Please try to recall what I explained on the board. The first one is said to be the brainstorming stage. Okay, you try to write as many points as you can in the form, not in the form of sentences, write in the form of short. I drew like a sun and and I have given the lines drawn like the rays of the sun. And then I have presented. You people told so many concepts about brain drain we discussed. When we are doing brainstorming, we should be very careful that we should not present only one side. We should be giving the ideas or writing the ideas on both the sides. Only after writing the brainstorming, okay, then only decide, are you going to write on a positive side or negative side, or advantages or disadvantages? Okay. And if you're writing any essay on problem and solution, go for what are the problems, one brainstorming for problems, and what are the solutions, one brainstorming for solutions. That can be done. Cause, what is the cause and what is the effect? Likewise, you can tailor made your brainstorming. Advantages, disadvantages, both. Do the brainstorming, because as human being, what happens is in the beginning itself we'll have one point looking at the passage. Oh wow, I can write the essay, but that wow will not help you to write your essay. You have to do a proper exercise. Let it be that you used your 5 minutes time in brainstorming, but you will have ample information with you to write your essay. If you don't use your time doing your brainstorming, obviously you'll end up writing the essay in 10 minutes, and you will be thinking about how to write, how to continue my pen to flow. Okay, that is very, very important that you do brainstorm. After doing brainstorming, take a stand, means take a decision whether to talk for or against, positive or negative. Then after that, give priority to the points of brainstorming. Maybe if you have come across 10 points, you might not be in a position to explain all the 10 points as equally as you could. So give priority. First, I can explain education. Then I explain foreign exchange. Then I explain about employment. Likewise, if you preference. So you will not only have the clues or hints to write, and also you will have a whole, oh, what is to be written first, what is to be written next, what is to be written at the last. So you will have a clear cut picture when you do your brainstorming. That's why I said brainstorming for 2 minutes and decision making for next 3 minutes, decision making and priority for 3 minutes, or vice versa. If you use that 5 minutes, you can end up in writing your essay within 30 minutes. 250 words is not a major concern, because I see my ICSC students writing 500, 600, 1,000 word essays also. 500-word essay is given just half an hour for them to write. Children of 12th standard. Okay? So don't worry, you people can write better, but practice. Practice makes you perfect. Sanjana, I suggest you to write one essay every day, if possible. Krishna, I'm very sorry. If possible, please send all essays, one essay one day before your exam, so that I can evaluate and set. Right?
Okay. Okay.
Right. Next. Now, this is all completed. Yeah. So writing is that, and now last one is speaking. So speaking, we just complete in last 10 minutes. I hope we have time. The speaking format, actually, as I told you, the speaking will be done just before 1 week or after 1 week or before 2 days or after 2 days. Not exactly on the test day, not at all on the test day. You will not have it. Okay. So I said yesterday itself, just be prepared in your mind to go to the center, place of the center where, you set for a place, whether with the relatives or in your private boarding or lodging, make it comfortable. Okay. And speaking section is common for both general. Listening and speaking sections are common for both general and academic. Okay. And the speaking format is divided into three parts. Part one comprises of a set of questions which are very general, very, very general, casual questions. First goes with the introduction of the examiner and then you, and talks about food, restaurants. And yesterday, our friend was telling, he was asked about the museums. In general, they will ask. You might be answering, you might not even be thinking that this question, oh, they asked me this kind of question, such easy question will be given to me. Sometimes for easy questions, it is very difficult to answer also because we feel we take it too easy. Don't take anything easy. Please keep on talking, talking, talking. If you talk for more time, they'll ask less questions. If you talk for less time, they'll ask more questions. But you will be in a position to answer the questions. And I would rather say there is no right or a wrong answer for IELTS module. Everything is correct for IELTS. Okay. Fine. And then and then how are you being tested on this? How are you being tested on the speaking is again on 4 pillars. Now the 4 pillars are, the first one is fluency and coherence. Fluency is not only the way that you present your sentences and your accent, pronunciation and everything. Fluency is the flow of thought. Is the flow of thought there in the speaker or not is tested very importantly. And is there any logical, link between the sentences? Is it relating to the main topic or not? Is very importantly to be taken into consideration. Okay. And then the lexical resource, the language. Okay. So if you use the idiomatic vocabulary, the phrasal verbs, or colloquial English, they give you more marks, right? And grammatical range and accuracy, as it is very important, in pronunciation also. In pronunciation, I would rather say it can be natural. They won't expect you to speak a British accent, or they won't expect you to speak a Canadian accent or American. They expect you to speak a neutral accent, which should not be Indian English, which should not be any other kind of English. Okay. It should not be a Telugu English also. So no mother tongue influence should be there. So pronunciation practice is very important, right? So listen to the videos of listening so that you will have a flow of thought, more confidence you will gain. After you do your listening, immediately you do your speaking to test yourself. Then you would understand how confident are you and you can easily present your speaking well. Okay. And these are the 40 plus topics, common topics which can be asked. Okay. And you're speaking. Name, hometown, study, major work. See, this name, study, major work are the major, very important. It is compulsory that you would be asked this question. And you will have the questions on your hometown, living place, accommodation if you're a student. Okay. And about the weather, favorite season, and then about the punctuality TV program, museum. Yesterday, our friend has got a question on museum. Not yesterday, Sunday, Sanjana had a test and she had got a question on museum and galleries. So you can take a pick of this. This might definitely help you. They won't go beyond this. Okay. Holiday or a public holiday, film, leisure time, sports, hanging out with friends, fruits, maths, sky, clothes, weekend, reading, sleep, tree, memorizing, everything. I'm just reading from the slide. Teamwork, social network, especially social network is also one thing. And even about the health, which is a major concern these days, is also very important. Okay, general, very common aspects will be taken into consideration. Now, if you look at part one, you may have the examiner will have set of five or four questions each with her. If you're fast in answering, they complete all the three sets. Maximum three sets they'll have with them because they expect that the first part should go in 5 minutes. So they will see that you answer till the 5 minutes without a pause. So I recommend you to speak minimum for 1 minute without a pause so that it would be easy. And don't beat around the bush. That means talk only something related to the matter, not very indirectly, which is away from the matter. Okay, whichever the aspect that you have started, it has to stop with that aspect only. It should not go into the branches. It should not go into various subtopics. Okay, so just see here. Common, very common questions. What job do you do? What did you choose? So why did you choose that particular job? Very common questions. Second set of questions. What are the type of activities that help you relax? Do you like to do these activities alone with you or other people? So third, do you have big or a small family? So see the genre of the questions. So the genre is first is a job, the second one is about the leisure activities, and third thing about a family. Okay, so anything can be tested, anything very simple, but not any complex. Everything that everybody can speak. Okay, everything that everybody can speak will be given to you. So no need to worry about it. But it is a face-to-face interview. So body language is also taken into consideration. The way you sit, the way you have an eye-to-eye contact, the way that you present your hands, gestures, everything is taken into consideration. And part two is a round which is called as a cue card round, as I said yesterday itself. See, look at the card. A card will be given to them or a piece of paper having a question. Describe a website you have bought something from, and you will have the hints similarly as you have here. What the website is, what you bought from this website, how satisfied you were with that, what you bought. So you all have these are the supporting questions or hints that might be given to you, and that not might be that will be given to you. And what you should do is what you're supposed to do is you will be given 1 minute time for preparation. You have to prepare your answer for 1 minute, and you have to be talking for 2 minutes without a break. Minimum 2 minutes. 2 minutes is mandatory. If you offer 2.5 minutes, it's most welcome. Okay, so they'll see how the first round is they see your common sense, the way that you present yourself, the grammar, accuracy, logical sequence. The second one, the perseverance of presenting your thought. Is it continuing or any drop? Okay, and the third one is again a bit hard nut to crack for few who have a habit of telling a lie. So be very truthful when you're answering the second one, because based on the questions that you are answering in the round two will be addressed in the round three. Suppose you say a lie, you forget it, and in the third question they may counter check it, and you may tell another set of answer, which might, it will not affect your language pronunciation and all, but it will affect the general essence of your past. They will not have the confidence upon you. Maybe that will also take away a bit of band score, not too much of band score. So be very careful. Be like a trustworthy person. Okay. See, in the final part of IELTS speaking test, the examiner will have a discussion with you about some issues that are related to topic two, part two. Okay. And they are very abstract in nature. You won't even expect this kind of question will be asked. Can be asked about that. But they are not tough. They are not at all tough. They don't belong to any knowledge like science or social or something else. They are not general knowledge questions, commonsensical questions. So with a proper common sense, with a proper remembrance of what you have answered in the second part in a cue card round, you should be answering the last. Okay. And it's a two-way discussion. It's a dialogue. Last one is a dialogue. They'll be interrupting you. They'll be asking you. They'll be commenting. Doing anything. So you should be in a position to present yourself well. Whereas the second one is your monologue. First one, I would rather say it's not a dialogue. They'll just try to ask you the question and find out how you are. Fair enough? Good or bad? Okay? So this is how you complete your speaking process, right? So this is about speaking. So these are the various important 4 pillars: fluency and coherence, lexical resource, grammar, range and accuracy, pronunciation. When you go for your writing, task achievement, coherence and cohesion. See, this coherence part, logical link, logical sequence is a very vital thing, right? Lexical resource, grammar, range, and accuracy. And when you're writing your essay, in the second one, there should be a thesis statement. Second one as well as the first one. Okay? Topic statement plus the explanation. The paraphrase of the question is nothing but the thesis statement. Thesis statement can be expressed in the first paragraph. Okay? So be careful about how to write a thesis statement also. Just reminding you at the last. Okay? Now, when you go to the before slides, you have your listening. All types of listening are being tested here. Please explain here. So this is it, my friends. So we have completed all what is required for your IELTS to give your test. All the modules recapped. Any doubts? I'm in. Friends, any doubts? No doubts?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Hope you're very clear about that. So I request Padmavati ma'am to take to handle the next part of the program to
Yeah.
talk about.
Yes, Harshini, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Harshini, for your accepting our proposal to train overseas aspirants and giving a clear strategy on the for I mean to be implemented for IELTS exam. And thank you very much. And one more thing is, students, you can if you have any doubts further also, you can approach us. I will be directing you to the Harshini ma'am. She'll be whenever she is free, she'll be clearing all the doubts. Okay. And one more thing is, through APNRTS, earlier also we have told you that the admission process, visa guidance, and university selection pre and post departure, all the facilities we are providing to students at free of cost. You can just call me at any time or just ping me up. And one more request, students, please don't leave whatever the groups we have created, because soon this IELTS free coaching training is an ongoing process, and you can evaluate. If you have failed this time also, you can if you are not able to continue full session at the we'll be starting other sessions as soon as possible. So the notifications and everything will be sent to your concerned groups. And if you have any more, if you want, or if you are really, if you are seeing for any other services also, do approach us. You can just ping me up or just give me a call, and you can reach us at helpline number also. So students, if you have any doubts, you can ask Harshini now, and if you want any other services also, you just ask me.
Dear friends, I would rather tell you, it's don't stop practicing for IELTS. Okay, IELTS will also not only help you to go and give your test, it also refines your thinking process, increases your confidence levels. Okay, and you can be very unique compared to other individuals. So do a serious practice. If you haven't registered for your passport, well and good, you have more time to practice. Okay, start reading words, start reading newspapers, start reading magazines, right? Definitely they will help you. And at the same time, just keep a limit. We have sent you some books. So in those books, essays are given in such a way that the words are highlighted and how to use the words and what are the meanings of the words, how the word can be used in a sentence. Everything is clearly given. So if you can utilize that, just spend 15 to 20 minutes, maximum half an hour a day. Which means when is that half an hour a day if you haven't registered for your passport and haven't registered for your exam? Suppose you have registered for your exam and it is in due course of 1 month. Practice at least 1 hour a day. For 15 days, you practice 1 hour a day. Next next 1 week, I'm talking about 1 month, next 1 week, at least 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day will complete at least 1.5 modules, right? And before 1 week of your main examination, all 2.5 hours means all the three modules. I don't touch speaking. Okay, speaking will be done before or after, and definitely at any point of time from APRNRT, our team is very much ready to help you. Okay, so last 1 week you have to give your shot for the grand test. Mock test have to be written. Sitting for 2.5 hours for a stretch. Okay, and at the same time having concentration, practicing capital letters, writing with a pencil, you know, and grammar, remembering the grammar notes, have the notes with you. Tenses, we have finished tenses, voice, conditionals, right? So we have finished the needed major grammar part which is required for your examination. So those are very much important. And also prepare the prepositions which I have given you, which are really very important. And collocations. The time was not sufficient for giving collocations, but just go through the website. They are very easy to understand. Okay, so in the Google you can just Google them and get the collocation. So this is about it. So please focus, and it's very easy to get your good scores. And all the best. I want to see everyone and at the best scores. And I want to place you. I want to see you placed in the topmost universities. Kailash, Kailash, stop it. Okay.
Okay, yeah, Harshini. And one more thing, students, please give your feedback also. I'll be sending, within 5 to 10 minutes. You please just give the feedback.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Harshini. It's nice
Thank
working
you,
with
ma'am.
you.
Same, ma'am. I
Yeah,
also have. I feel happy to
very nice.
be a part of your fantastic team, especially
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you,
And
Harshini.
a very great respect towards the top-notch management, the president, sir, as well as the CEO.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye,
Okay.
children.
Bye.
Wish you all the best.